They wanted that image, didn't they? You on your knees, begging for scraps, broken and done. They banked on you folding on, you disappearing under the weight of their cruelty. That's how they operate. Prod, press, celebrate when someone cracks, but look at you, you're still standing. Ever wonder why they treated you like dirt, spat on your ambitions? It wasn't because you were weak, it was because they knew, somewhere inside, you were unbreakable. They don't fear what they can control, they fear what they can't. And you're the unpredictable card they misread. They expected tears, please, humiliation, instead you walked away. Hurt, yes, but harder, and that infuriates them. They wanted to watch you break, instead they watched you absorb every strike and keep moving. Most people would have folded, crawled back to the arms that hurt them, begging for mercy. Not you. You looked them straight in the face and said, not today, not ever. Remember how their expressions shifted after that? Confusion, a little panic. They couldn't compute someone who refused the script. They assumed you need them, but you learned the toughest lesson. Rely on yourself. The world isn't fair, it rigs the rules. And you refused to play by them. You walked through the fire, instead of skirting it. Pain became your teacher. You let it carve you into something fierce. While they waited for your surrender, you reclaimed your posture. Head high, spirit bruised but intact. You proved you don't crave their approval or their pity. You never did. They misjudged you. They labeled you weak, but the weak don't last. Only the strong endure, and you've endured more than most. Not because you're invincible, but because you've been broken and rebuilt stronger each time. They wanted to witness your fall, but all they got was your silhouette, walking away unbowed, undeniable. Now they'll never forget it. You ever notice how they play the part? Sweet smiles, flattering words, when you serve their needs, when you move like a puppet on their strings. But the instant you stop, the instant you refuse to be useful on demand, their masks slip. That's when the knives appear. That's when you see their true faces. And what did you do? You didn't beg. You didn't plead. You didn't crawl back. You simply walked away. That's real strength. Kid, ugly, stubborn, forged in the gutter. Not the tidy strength they sell in speeches, but the kind born from being kicked while already down, and still finding the will to rise. Most people crack. They trade their dignity for acceptance. They'd rather be slaves to other people's opinions than stand alone. Pathetic, but not you. They turned on you because you frightened them, terrified them, though they never admit it. They'll call you difficult, stubborn, arrogant, anything to avoid naming the truth. You can't be controlled. You became the error in their system, the glitch that exposes the whole machine. By refusing to perform, you revealed their weakness. That's why they tried to crush you, because your independence proved how hollow their power really is. If you can walk away with your head held high, what does that say about them? It means their power was theater. Nothing terrifies a tyrant more than discovering he's only playing at power. They thought they'd break you like the others, strip away your pride until you crawled back. Instead, every blow taught you how to stand firmer. Every knockdown made you sharper, wiser, harder to touch. Now, you're dangerous. People like us don't belong in their neat boxes. We unsettle their order. Most folks are sheep, following the script because it's safe. You weren't born to follow. You were born to refuse. You're not a sheep, you're a wolf. And wolves don't follow. They lead, they carve paths through wilderness, through blood and storm. And they don't care who stands in the way. But here's the twist. They think they won. They think, oh, he walked away, so he's finished. But what they don't see is this. They handed you the very weapon they feared you'd find. Freedom. You're out of their system, now out of their grip. And that makes you lethal, because a man with nothing left to lose is the most dangerous man alive. Let them talk. Let them whisper. Let them paint you as broken in their petty lies. None of it matters. You know why? Because you already won. The second you chose yourself over them, you claimed victory. They wanted you on your knees begging. Instead, you answered with silence, with steel in your spine, and the sight of your back as you walked away, unbent, unbroken. And that image? That's burned into them forever. They mistake control for power, but real power is here. It's in standing tall while the world claws at you. It's in staring pain in the face and asking, is that all you got? And you, my friend, you carry that kind of power. You didn't just crawl through hell. You walked it, breathed it, and came out sharper, hungrier, stronger. But don't think it's done. It's never done. They'll come again. In new masks, new faces. Life doesn't stop testing. But now, you hold the secret. Now you know yourself. They can't bend you anymore. They can't own you. And that's what makes you terrifying to them. So when they return, and they will, you don't flinch. You don't kneel. You rise. And you remind them what they already know. They couldn't break you before, and they sure as hell won't break you now. You'll walk away every single time, head high, soul intact. Because in the end, their validation means nothing. Their approval is dust. All that matters is you. They thought you'd beg, but the only thing they'll ever see is you walking away, stronger than ever. And betrayal is the knife you never see see coming. It's the sting in your ribs, slipped in by the hand you trusted most. Family, friend, brother. The closer they are, the deeper they cut. But betrayal is fuel. Betrayal is the fire that wakes you. The proof that you were never meant to stay soft, never meant to stay blind. Trusting time to peel back the masks until the truth shows itself. And once you wake up, that's when you become dangerous. Most people let betrayal rot them from the inside. They sit with the hurt, clutching their wounds, composing laments about how unfair life is. You ripped the blade from your spine, met their gaze, and asked, is that it? That's the separation line. The world loves its games. It builds you up, feeds you flickers of light and hope, then yanks the floor away. Why? Because they can't bear your light. They sense in you something they lack, something unattainable, and that terrifies them. They're allergic to your fire, so they try to smother it. Here's the irony. They fail. Stab you, stab again, try to break you, but they cannot extinguish what lives inside. It's like dousing a forest fire with a thimble. You burn hotter and brighter than their petty attempts can. Touch pain is strange. While most run from it, drown it, anesthetize it with booze or distractions, you did the opposite. You welcomed it, refined it, used each cut as kindling. Every shove they gave became fuel, every slight a hammer. Now look, you stand harder, keener, more lethal than before. You've been through the blaze and didn't merely survive. You evolved. That's the fear in them. They recognize you can't be broken, can't be owned. They see the one who wore scars and turned them into armor, and instead of collapsing, you rose and smiled, daring them. Bring it. Do you think they don't? Whisper about you. They do in back rooms, behind practiced smiles. Your name is breathed like a ghost. They slap labels on you. Weak, done, finished. They misread you. Now you're the one upright, and they're the ones trembling, because control slipped through their fingers. Here's the secret. They never teach control is a mirage. Power too is only what you allow it to be. They had no real holdover you unless you handed it over, and you never did. That's why they snapped at you, why they tried to make you conform, to fold into their ranks. When you refused, when you declared, I'll move my way, they lost their bearings. People like you don't fit in. Their tidy worlds are unpredictable. Raw, untamed. That unpredictability terrifies them more than any boast or blade. They can't stand the wild in you. Unpredictability terrifies them. Anything they can't package, label, and control becomes their enemy. That's why they tried to break you, not to win your success, but to force your dependence. But you don't bend. You don't beg. Independence is your weapon. Notice how they fear someone who says, I'm fine on my own. That truth scares them more than guns, money, or status. If you don't need them, they're irrelevant, and being irrelevant is their nightmare. You became a threat because you showed them what freedom looks like. Walking away, taking hits, surviving, refusing their approval, their praise, their hollow love. You proved you were stronger alone than you ever were with them. That's why their hatred never dies. Nothing stings like being proven wrong by the one you dismissed. But this isn't finished. It's only getting started. They'll test you again, throw new faces and schemes. But now you know the rules. Each shove they give makes you rise sharper. You turn every betrayal, every wound, every scar into armament. Someday they'll see the monster they made. They expected begging, crawling. Instead they'll only witness your retreating silhouette, head high. That image will haunt them. They thought breaking you would shatter your spirit, but each strike fed the blaze inside. You didn't just endure their world, you tore it apart. Now you're something beyond their comprehension, impossible to chain. They wanted a monster. Congratulations, they birthed exactly that. Monsters don't cower under beds. They walk into daylight, daring anyone to challenge them. You are that creature now, forged by their cruelty, unashamed, unhidden. Go back into their midst. Show them what you became. When they look into your eyes, they'll only find the mirror of the beast they tried and failed to tame.